lot of you guys, they get hit with so many different inquiries because instead of going to your local credit union to get financing for a vehicle first, you guys are going to the dealership, right? And the dealership is running your credit through any and every financing company available to see what you get approved for, right? Make sure you're being polite. You don't want to give these people, a bad attitude because they are doing you a favor, right? If they're giving you a hard time, this is a law that you're able to say that they can use to remove these things, right? So sometimes you need to be polite, but you need to let them know that you know what you're talking about and that your rights are being violated. I've seen people get inquiries removed within a few hours, right? My mentees, they've been having this play, they know how to remove their own inquiries and everything like that because we're trying to get the bag, right? So if you're trying to get the bag, you need to keep those inquiries low, right? So we only want to keep 3 or less inquiries. You can remove inquiries from open credit card accounts, but do it at your own risk because it is a chance that the credit card might be closed down. And if you don't know how to get it back, then you're going to be SOL. All right, man, here's a simple way that my mentees have been getting their inquiries removed from their credit report within 24 to 48 hours. Right here, I put the phone numbers for all of the 3 different credit bureaus. And then during the prepping process, you want to make sure you have your personal your details, social security number, full name, date of birth, home address ready. The key thing is already having an inquiries, already having the names of the companies and already having the dates of the inquiry. I'm saying make sure you have this before you get on a call. You do not want to be on a call with these people fumbling information and not being prepared. So I'm saying if you don't have your credit report, you should get your credit report from a site like IdentityIQ with 3 credit bureaus. You can get a $1 trial. I'll put the link in the description, underneath this. So step number 1, you want to dial the fraud department number. You want to listen to the automated prompts. You want to hit option 2, general credit questions, then press option 1, credit report questions. Next, you want to press option 2, dispute info, and then press option 1, general dispute. So what you want to do is basically you want to initiate a new dispute. So a dispute is anytime something is inaccurate on your credit report, right? So this is what we're going to start with, and I'm gonna just go through the process and put everything down here. Okay, so you're gonna say, I want to talk to a live representative. They're gonna transfer you to a live representative. The first thing that you want to do, you want to confirm that this is a person that is from the fraud department, right? You want to make sure that you're talking to the right person, the person that is actually able to help you, right? So if this isn't the fraud department, you want to make sure that you're transferred to the fraud department. I can't stress this enough. Make sure you're talking to the person that can actually help you. You don't want to go ahead and list up all the inquiries and then they hear the situation and then they can't even help you, right? We want to make sure that we're being productive with our time. So the first thing that you want to say is, okay, cool. I was disconnected from the fraud department and would like to be transferred over. Excuse my handwriting. So wait for them to transfer the call. Okay, cool. You want to connect with the fraud department and then you want to explain to the fraud department that you were looking at your credit report. You were recently looking at your credit report. You don't want to say you looked at your credit report a year ago, 6 months ago. You just looked at your credit report. This is the first time that you were seeing these inaccuracies on your credit report, right? So you want to say, okay, cool. You just noticed some inaccuracies on your credit report and you would like to dispute them, right? So when they ask about adding a fraud alert, you want to tell them, hey, no, not at this time. I can do that alone, but right now I just want to, dispute these inquiries. So from here, like I said, they will confirm your identity. So they will ask you about your name, your address, your date of birth, and everything like that. This is the perfect time to remove any old addresses or any old names. If you have any inaccurate name variations, so if let's say on your Equifax and on your Experian, one says your full middle name, one just has the initial. You want to go ahead and get those removed. You want to make sure you have one name across all 3. You want to make sure that you have no employers across all 3, and you want to have one address. Any old addresses, request to move those during this time. Okay, the next thing that they're going to ask you if you submitted an FTC report, right? So you can say, yes, I submitted an FTC report, so this is the Federal Trade Commission, So if you haven't already done this, you can also send this in before calling. You can also send in an FTC report with the letters to dispute these things and then upload to the CFPB, but we will talk about that later in the video, right? So from here, we will say, okay, cool. All right, so they're gonna ask you if you filed an FTC report, right? So during this time, you wanna make sure you tell them, hey, I already filed an FTC report. They're gonna say, did you talk to the company, right? They're gonna say, hey, we just reported whatever the company told us. You wanna tell them, hey, I talked to the FTC, then I talked to the CFPB, and they told me to, get in contact with you guys because you guys are reporting this inaccuracy, right? There's no point in telling to the company that ran your credit for the inquiry because they're not gonna be the ones that's able to remove that, right? So we only wanna focus on things things that we can actually change. The credit bureaus have the power to be able to change this. So we want to make sure that we, talk to them. So if they ask about an FTC report, just tell them, hey, I've already completed it in, and sent it in and uploaded it to the CFPB, right? And now they told me to get in contact with you guys. So right here, now you want to make sure you list all inaccurate inquiries. So the key to this right here, that aren't attached to open CCs, right? So you want to list all inaccurate inquiries. When I say inaccurate inquiries, any inquiries that you don't want on your credit report, that don't need to be on your credit report, because we're trying to get the bag, right? So if you're trying to get the bag, we need to keep those inquiries low, right? So we only want to keep 3 or less inquiries. I'm saying sometimes at 2 years, it takes too long for the inquiries to fall off. So we're going to remove those. If they're not attached to an open credit card, you can remove inquiries from open credit card accounts, but do it at your own risk, because it is a chance that your credit card might be closed down. And if you don't know how to get it back, then you're going to be SOL. So you're going to list all inaccurate inquiries that aren't attached to open credit cards. And this is when you will give the company name, right? So a lot of you guys, they get hit with so many different inquiries because instead of going to your local credit union to get financing for a vehicle first, you guys are going to the dealership, right? You're going to the dealership first, and the dealership is running your credit through any and every financing company available to see what you get approved for, right? So we're gonna go ahead and, delete all of those. Anything that's not attached to an open account, we want to remove. So if it's connected to an auto and everything like that, you don't gotta worry about that. You can remove those. But I wouldn't touch any other ones. So you want to give them the name, and you want to give them the date, so you want to have this already listed out, right? So another key thing, don't do more than 10 per call. So you don't want to try to dispute more than 10 during that call, right? And then so the next thing you want to do is you want to confirm the removal timeline. So if the person is being low-key difficult, if the person is being difficult off the rip, you want to make sure you hang up and get another representative. You know what I'm saying? So I do see that sometimes it takes, getting on the phone with the right representative that is helpful. You want to make sure you're being polite. You don't want to give these people, a bad attitude, because they are doing you a favor, right? So they have the ability to be able to help you in this situation. So make sure you treat them, very kindly. Like I said, if they're giving you a hard time, this is a law that you're able to say that they can use to remove these things, right? So sometimes you need to be polite, but you need to let them know that you know what you're talking about and that your rights are being violated because they didn't even confirm that you really even did business with this company, right? So technically they reporting inaccurate information because you didn't give this company permission to pull your credit, right? So I'm gonna put the law right here, 15 USC. And then you want to tell them, okay, cool. I'm gonna tell them that this information is not information relating to any transaction by me, right? So if this is not a transaction that's related to anything that you've done, you never received a vehicle from these people, you never received anything from these people, right? You, let's say, apply for something, but you didn't actually get approved, right? So this has nothing to do with you. So this law says that, you guys can look that up. And if you're sending off the letters, you definitely want to try to add that into your credit repair letters, when you are trying to remove inquiries from your credit report, right? They didn't have your consent to be able to do that. So we want to let them know that, hey, my rights are being violated and you guys are taking part in my rights being violated, and I really don't appreciate that. So we can go ahead and remove this before I have to sue y'all. Right, so you want to confirm the time, especially with Experian. Experian is the best one because they remove things very, very, very quickly. I've seen people get inquiries removed within a few hours, right? My mentees, they've been having this play, they know how to remove their own inquiries and everything like that. So when you're going for rounds of funding and let's say a bank, denies you or anything like that, we wipe the inquiries and we go get more funding, right? So all 2025, there's no reason that anyone should not have a 700 plus credit score. I'm gonna be giving y'all so much game. Make sure y'all click the link in my bio because I am having a Rich for Life University. I'm putting in so much game on how you guys can fix your credit step by step, 100%, do it yourself, all of the letters, all of the templates, everything that you need in order to be able to get to the next level. And then we're building your credit out, and then we're getting access to funding on a personal side, on a business side, everything that you guys need in order to really be able to get to the next level, man. So we really being rich for life by leveraging credit, right? Turning credit into cash and then using the bank's money to be able to get us to where we're trying to get to, right? If you guys get inquiries, this is how you need to remove them. Let me know what results you guys get. And another thing too, you guys can take all of the documentation, right? So if you make a letter, use the letter. If you join the Rich for Life University community, we have the letters inside of there already for you. All you need to do is just put in, the names of the accounts. You'll put your FTC report and then you can upload that to the CFPB and they will also fall off, right? So sometimes with TransUnion and Equifax, they are a little bit more difficult. So, I can recommend going through the CFPB, but I have seen success with, removing with them over the phone too. Sometimes it just takes a couple representatives. So if you guys don't already, make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube road to 10K, because 90% of you guys are watching my videos and you're not subscribed. So we dropping too much game. I'm just gonna be so hard for y'all not to be subscribed, because y'all gonna miss out on some of these gems in order to be able to get y'all to the next level. So that's all I got for y'all, man. Appreciate everybody that's been rocking with me. You know what I'm saying? Road to 10K. Make sure y'all sub up, man.
Lost it all, got found with more. I've been up and down before. Focus like a motherfucker. Going at it, stand the course. Forever keeping my cool, ain't got nothing to prove. I really fuck up some money if ain't nothing to do. Yeah, who ain't focused? There's too much more.